Hayes, welcome. I hope you all got a bit out of the presenter information. I know you will all be out training at 5 in the morning, so we'll be short and sweet here. We're going to talk about the event itself. It's going to be an interactive chat, okay? If you've got questions, please just let me know and we'll try and address them. If you've got a question, I guarantee there's someone else in the room that's got one as well. I've been the event manager, coordinator, whatever you want to call it, for the last 4 DAMS events, so I've got a bit of the knowledge of what's going on now, hopefully. A cyclist back a long time ago, the older I get, the better I was, so at least coming from a cycling background, it's quite helpful for this event, hopefully, and hopefully we've ticked all the boxes with the things you guys need. Come on in, guys, just keep walking in. Just going to wait for my assistant to get back to the PowerPoint. So, how many first-time DAMS riders? Raise your hands. Most of us. Okay, how many have done 5 DAMS before? Can you come up here and answer that? Right, just the one. 3 DAMS before? 2 DAMS?
3 DAMS last week.
Okay, here we go. Well, welcome. Firstly, give yourselves a round of applause for entering. Congratulations to all. New challenge for so many people. It will be a tough day. It is called a challenge for a reason. No matter what category you're in, it's definitely a challenge. Hopefully not too much walking towards the end, and we'll be okay. But you will enjoy it. It's good. We did talk about a few things specifically on the event. I'm just going to wait for... Where are you, kid? I need the next page. Yes, we all. Kim is the event manager from West Cycle, so she's the boss, okay? So we definitely need her to help. Good. We'll get straight to it. Let's talk about some of the logistics first. A few things have changed for those who may have done it before. The rider pack collection, which is compulsory because that's where you get your bag of goodies, is now going to occur at the HBF Stadium. You all know where that is, yes, Mount Claremont. Okay, it's on Stevenson Avenue. So Friday it will be open between 11 AM and 5 PM. So this is Friday the 26th of March, or on Saturday from 8 AM to 12 PM. Okay, there's no event day registration. Okay, because of the timing schedule. We aren't able to facilitate that on the morning. So unfortunately it's going to take a bit of planning if you don't live in the area. There's plenty of parking there. It's all really simple. If you know HBF Stadium at all, as you walk towards the main entrance, we're just off to the left-hand side. So we're in the first part of the building on the left, the basketball courts, and that'll all happen on the Friday or Saturday. The event, for those that don't know as yet, is all based at the Champion Lakes Regatta Centre, Champion Lakes Armidale border. You've probably all been out there and had a look. There's free parking. We enter from the northwest corner. So when you come off Tonkin Highway, the entrance is down that end. So it's the western end of the rowing centre. If you've ever done an AFTA time trial, you'll know exactly what I'm talking about. All parking is off that road there. You can't enter through the main entrance to the island. We close that road at 5:30, and that's only accessible by bikes. Okay, so we have that closed for the day. So it's important that you just make a note of where you're going. All this information that we're going to quickly race through here, you will receive a very detailed rider's guide, probably about 2 weeks out, which will have everything you need to know for the whole day in there, but we'll just go through here, so if there's any questions we can raise them. Each event will have a briefing. The new exciting thing that's been added to this event is called COVID tracing. Just in case you're wondering, the COVID safety plan for the start is 47 pages long. Okay. Yeah, that was fun. I really enjoyed that. It was great. So be prepared for tracing. Obviously, ideally, we want everyone to have an app when they walk from their car park across the bridge into the centre. We will have signs everywhere. We'll have COVID marshals. We'll have sanitisers, all the things that we need to have. So it'll all be there, but you just need to be mindful and just be ready to sign on when you get there. We do have, obviously, because you've entered, there's a great tracing system already in place, but obviously the health department requested next level.
Have you got an idea of how many are likely to do the race?
We're hoping for a new record, so that would be in a vicinity of 1,800 total. Yeah.
And what's the split?
The split is normally about 35% 5 DAMS, 3 dams is the biggest. 3 dams is about 60, and then 2 dams, which is our intro event, is a lot smaller.
And there's sufficient parking for 1,800
There's 2 kilometres plus of parking and about 5 deep. So yeah, and we have all marshals and officials. They'll be waiting there for you at 4:30. Just follow the torchlight. Okay. So that'll all be good, Pete. And look, if there is a queue, don't panic. There's plenty of time. It'll all happen, and we've obviously got radio comms for all of that. So yeah, some people tend to get there really early. Honestly, the new thing now with COVID is try and just get there with the time you need. So if you need half an hour and you're not really worried about warming up because you're going to ride 205 kilometres, just get there just before that. Okay, some people still warm up. So 5 dams is first away at 6 o'clock, 2 dams is the next away at 7 a.m, 3 dams at 7:30. Everyone asks why don't the 3 dams start earlier. It's all to do with the coordination to make it as safe as possible for you on the course. The 5 dams do an extra dam where they go down the road 5 kilometres and come back out and join the same course, and we try and get rid of them all back onto the main course before anyone from the 3 dams gets there. And then most importantly, we try and prevent any crossover on the descent of Albany Highway on Bedfordale Hill, because some will be turning left, others will be going straight. So that's the reason, and I've had to explain it millions of times because people in 3 dams like to get up earlier, I suppose. That's the split. Right.
Can I ask a
Go.
question? When you say 5 dams go at 6 o'clock,
Yes.
do they all go together or do you stay?
They did before COVID. No. Now, 47 pages later, no, you were spaced out, you'll be set off in groups of 10,
How far apart?
but they'll only be 5 to 9 seconds apart. Okay?
Seconds.
Yes, yeah, it's a pretty constant flow,
Rolling start.
because obviously for social distancing is the key. Your bikes are about 1.8 metres long, so that helps in the 2 square metre rule. But what we'll do, we'll have an area for the first 200, so a 400 square metre area. We'll count the guys and girls who are really keen in the 5 dams into that area. Once that fills, we'll close it, and then we'll fill the next area, and this will go on. If you started last in the 5 dams, I expect you'll be gone by 6:20. Okay, it's not very long. Once it starts, it's just, and obviously because, and I'll bring this up probably next, the roads are open, you still got to ride 2 abreast maximum, no pelotons, all that sort of stuff. So we don't send everyone at once. We never have. Next, please. Okay, your rider's pack when you go to HBF Stadium will include your Dams jersey if you ordered one. The rider guide being environmentally friendly will be electronic, so you'll all get emailed that prior to the event. And then you'll get a pack of various stickers. Okay, so there'll be ones to go around your seat tube for your number, which has the timing chip on. There'll be 2 for your helmet. There'll be an extra one if you're in the 5 dams for something exciting that I'll talk about in a minute. And then there'll be a wristband. Okay, the wristband, I suggest, goes on straight away. As soon as you get it at the pickup, just put it on, a bit like the nightclub. They'll shower okay, so you can go back the next night. It's all good. That'll have your number, and it'll have the event emergency number on it as well. Okay, that is your lunch wristband at the finish. Okay, so it needs to stay on, and it'll be cut off by the catering company when you get back to Champion Lakes and get your lunch. Okay, but the best thing with that is if you need something in an emergency, you've got the number right there. That'll all be explained. Okay, lights are really important. 5 dams, headlights are compulsory. Okay, it is just visible at 6 a.m. at this time of year, but you're surprised how quickly the light decreases over the next 4 weeks. So headlights are compulsory, taillights are compulsory for everyone. If you have a drama and you're a little concerned about the tail light, the really important part is the section along Albany Highway, which is about 18 kilometres long at about the 80k mark. Really important that we all run tail lights along there for a safety point of view. So obviously it is Albany Highway. The sticker that goes around your seat tube has your timing chip in it. That will time you through all the checkpoints, of which there's various at the 5 dams. All 5 dams have checkpoints, so you can check and compare with your mates later on. It also is great for us to let you know where you are. if you have friends or relatives who are worried about you, you can show them the Blue Chip website once you get it all the system, and they'll be able to track where you are, and obviously we use it to make sure we know where you are on course as well. Next, please. Okay, courses. Courses are the same as the last 2 years, 205 kilometres, 136 and 53. Before anyone asks, we're well aware of the roadworks in Kelmscott. If anyone's been training out there already, there's significant roadworks going on. The end of the 3 dams course only is changing to suit that. The latest GPX file is on the website now already. Okay, so if you're out having a look around the course, or if you've done the 3 dams before, probably more importantly, just check, because we've had to change the finish. It's not significant, the distance is the same. You'll just go back towards Brookton Highway before you cross Albany at the finish. You'll still come down the hill, still have the great Canning Mills descent, which means you still have the great Birch Road climb that half the people walk up. So you'll have that first, you come down the big hill, and then instead of turning right at the bottom, you'll turn left and go the other way around the roadworks. And you'll actually go across the railway line through a very wide footpath that will man and everything, so it will be secure there. They've decided to bury the railway line and build an overpass at the moment, which is not very helpful. Otherwise, everything else stays the same course-wise. Right, there's the who does what is from a dams point of view. So your 5 dams, if you're a 5 dams entrant, you do Serpentine, Albany Highway is a checkpoint, Wollongong Dam. This is, unfortunately, we've had a bit of a meltdown here with the PowerPoint. Wollongong Dam's not the lunch stop anymore, but I'll talk about that in a minute. Churchman's Brook, Osprey Road Climb is your next refreshment stop, and then Canning Dam is your last dam. If it was mud, this will all be in your righty guide. Okay, when it comes to pit stops, those who've done it before, we always had the stops at the dams for several reasons, mainly to keep Watercorp happy. We've moved them, so there'll be no stops actually at the dams. If you're under 40 and obsessed with selfies, you'll want to stop there anyway, and that's more than welcome, okay? And it's one of the reasons we were happy to move them away, is we realised that everyone stops on the dams and takes photos anyway, so we didn't really need to have the stop there as well. So there is, though, and it's only going to affect probably 5 people in this room, those who've competed before. All the stops now will move away from that. Who's doing 3 dams? Okay, let's talk 3 and 5 dams first. A new exciting thing that we're going to bring to the event, because that's what we do, we just give more back all the time for your money, is the first pit stop, which is at the 45 kilometre mark, just before you actually start hitting the hills. Everyone that competes in the 3 and 5 dams can stop at the first pit stop and leave behind any of their personal gear that they don't want to carry up the hills. Okay? i.e., if it's cold in the morning and you want to wear a rain jacket or arm warmers or leg warmers, at the first stop at the 45k mark, you just need to pull up, give one of our friendly volunteers your number, they'll put your items in a clear plastic bag with a number on, and we'll take that back to Chamberlain Lakes for you. Cool?
Yep.
Understand? We're all understood? Those just in the 5 dams, because when you get to the lunch stop, you've still got 96 kilometres to go, the on-course one. We've introduced a new thing that we're going to, pretty cool name, I think it's called the 5 Dams Valet, which means, anyone who's done an Ironman will know exactly what I'm talking about. When you go through registration on the Friday or Saturday, or first thing Sunday morning, you can drop a bag. We'll supply the bag for you in your kit. You can drop a bag with spare bottles, spare gels, another phone charger if you took too many selfies, all those sorts of things. It's a bag big enough to fit 2 bottles and a few gels, so you can't put, a change of clothes and deodorant and all those sorts of things in there, but you can put anything else that you want specifically to get at the lunch stop. Okay? And there will be an extra number in your kit to put in that bag. Okay? So they're clear bags, obviously clear so we know what's in them, so there's no concerns from a safety point of view, and also so you guys can probably identify them easier. So you can turn up at lunch and go, I want my drink bottles, my gels, whatever. chocolate bars. You know, I know in an Ironman situation you put that stuff that if you're desperately in a bad way, you'd like to have, like for example, Turkish delights are sensational when you're struggling through an Ironman. So that's the sort of thing you put in there. We will take all those things, we'll collect them from you at the registration. We'll take all those things up to the remote lunch stop, which is now on Bedfordale Hill, and you have access to come along, take your bag, and then put whatever else. If it's bottles, for example, you can put your empty ones in that bag and pick it up again when you get to the finish. Good? Clear? Okay. I'm talking too much. First aid, normal. There'll be an ambulance follow each of the 3 events. We'll have a static post at the start finish area. We'll have a static post at the lunch stop, which up there is Wollongong Dam. It's just before Wollongong Dam now, and 2 of the other ones will have them as well. Okay. And the motorbike guys on bikes. The motorbike guys on bikes will have small first aid kits. They'll also have a small supply of tubes and canisters. Okay, it's obviously suggested you bring your own. Mobile phones, yep, everyone needs to carry a mobile phone, the event phone number. That'll go live the week of the event, but obviously it's really for Sunday only for emergencies. If there's anything else, just ring the normal number or an email inquiry. You need to carry a mobile with you at all times if possible. Some of us don't carry them, but it'd be better if you can. There's some areas where it's limited reception. If you have an incident and you don't get reception, just maybe ask someone to go on to the next spot. There's a broom wagon bus, a 12-seater bus and trailer to follow each leg as well. And then we've got various cars out on course throughout the day. So someone will get to you. Okay, obviously if it's a real emergency situation, something super serious, well, who do we call that? Not 911, no. 000 if we have to, otherwise the event phone. Cool. Volt cycles will be at the start. If you have any last minute pre-event emergencies, and they'll also be at the lunch stop. Broom wagon I've talked about. There'll be directional arrows everywhere. We have 6 people spend the whole Saturday signing the course. Most of them will be BWA arrows, nice and bright, directional before all the corners, etc. And what we normally try to do is we'll have one before the corner and then we'll have another one just after it, so you know you're on the correct route. There will be some event-specific ones at a couple of spots where, for example, 5 dams turn right, 3 dams turn left and go home, and 5 dams keep going for another 4 or 5 hours. So, but they'll all be explained in the road guide. Okay. There's always the fun police part of the night. Okay, really got to push the point. They are not closed roads. Okay, 2 abreast is allowed. Single file is preferred.
Are you reducing Albany Highway again?
We are reducing, touch wood, main roads have approved the reduction in the speed limit along Albany Highway from 110 to 80. Okay, but the police are aware, so the police come out, but to be honest, the police end up giving us more grief than they do the cars, because they see people 3 and 4 abreast along Albany Highway, which is not clever. So part of your terms and conditions, and definitely part of the rider guide, is single file on Albany Highway unless you're overtaken. The other thing we try and promote is on any of the big climbs, ride single file. Even if you're in a group, there's not a lot of advantage in drafting going up a climb, so you don't need to be rolling through. Go single file. So if a faster person catches you, they can pass you safely 2 abreast, or if a car that can easily pass you going up some of the bigger climbs, they've got more room. Okay, so it makes it a lot safer for everyone. Some of those climbs, coming Urge Road for example, if you're doing 15 kilometres an hour, you're going fast. Okay, so you need to be mindful of that. Yeah? Am I scaring anyone yet? Right, so yes, rubbish is one really big thing, okay? This is our biggest problem with local councils, to be honest. The side of the road is not the gels disposal, okay? Our motorbike marshals will keep an eye on it. If you're doing it intentionally, you'll be reported, and you know, we don't want to get to the point where you're disqualified. Okay? Ironman, you are disqualified instantly if you're intentionally seen to drop a gel. Okay? And they're this big, just put them back in your pocket. Every single pit stop has plenty of rubbish bins. Okay? So it doesn't take long. Do the right thing for yourselves, for the future of your sport, etc., etc. Because when you drive through there on Monday and there's 2,000 people who ate 15 gels an hour, like Suzanne told you need to eat, you'll eat everywhere. So just be mindful of that. Let's go. Q&A. Let's move along. Just big questions. Yes, mate? No. The clock only stops at the lunch one at Bedfordale. Okay, so you can clock in and out of that one, but there is a cut-off time there. Okay, everyone needs to be, no matter what the distance, they've got to be out of there at 1 o'clock. Okay.
How far is that in?
That is 100, if you're doing the 5 dam, 3 dams, 104 kilometres in. Okay, it's worked out at 18.7 kilometres an hour. Okay, and to put that in perspective, the last 4 years, City to Surf Fun Run, the winner has averaged 19 kilometres an hour running. Okay, and running up big hills. Okay, that's what we use as the reference. So I hope I haven't offended anyone. Last year, 2019, I think we cut 3 people. 2018 was a bit more because people were surprised by how tough the new course was. But yeah, if you just keep moving along, just be mindful of those other pit stops. And obviously the start, you know, a lot of people go, oh, I'm the slowest, I'm going to start last. If you're confident enough that people can pass you okay, start a bit further up. You know, save yourself 10 minutes early in the day. Just keep left and let the quick guys go past.
So lunch closes at 1, does it finish at 1?
The cut-off's at 1, yes.
What is lunch?
Got to be out of there. Lunch will be, depending on your dietary requirements, we're going to keep it at wraps. There'll be a rice dish for vegans. Vegans, vegetarian, I think will be covered by the same thing. There'll be a muffin or cake. There'll be a coffee van at lunch, so bring your card or a bit of cash. And then there'll still be access to the normal electrolytes, gels, waters.
You're paying for that?
So no, you only pay for your coffee. You just got to pay for your coffee, everything else is included.
On the normal pit stops, what type of nutrition will be provided there?
Okay, most of them, and it's a bit staggered. There'll be gels and electrolytes at all, and then fruit will be staggered, and then those that are still going towards the end, there might be a couple of really sugary cold treats.
You don't have to load up with the day's
You don't
energy.
look. You just need to be mindful. It tends to be. It'll be 1 banana per person because we've sadly found in the past that people can't help themselves. It's free. They'll just fit as much as they can. Supposedly you fit 9 bananas in. It's when the 5 dams went through Serpentine Dam and 400 of them left with 9 bananas, we ran out. We had 3,500 bananas at Serpentine Dam the first year, and we ran out before the last guys got there. And there was 1,500 entries.
So with the 2 dams, we don't get lunch, but
No, you
is
don't
there a map that shows us the drink stations?
Yes,
along
yes.
the
So there's one main drink station at the halfway point for you guys, which
Where will that be?
it's on McNess Drive. Okay, it's before you get to Canning Dam. It'll all be in your rider's guide. So you cross over, you do a short space on Brookton Highway, and then you turn right and head in towards Canning Dam. It's along there. It's an old campsite. It's called Camp Simons.
And it's not
If
there
you-
anymore.
The buildings are gone. That's our new stop. Okay, which is
Thank you.
perfect for that. How are we going? Anyone else?
So at the pit stop for the 2 dam, is there water bottles or do we fill up our
No,
water bottles?
no,
Or do we take enough
it's
for the
fill
whole
your
lot?
own. Fill your own bottles. So the water tanks that we get all have bubblers, and there'll be volunteers at all of them to help you out, manage. There'll be areas to park your bike. So if you need to rest there at the same time, that's obviously the thing. But yeah, just bubblers with your own bottles each time.
What's the cut-off time? So the 3 and 5?
1 o'clock out of the lunch stop. You need to be out of that lunch stop by 1 p.m.
You don't have to stop for lunch,
No, you don't stop at any of them. Okay.
but just pick it up and go.
You just pick up and go if you want. The only thing with the lunch stop though is your time stops. So if you need a break, that's the one to do it at. And you normally find the young kids go straight through, and then halfway up Wellsville Road Hill, they go, well, probably should have stopped a bit longer. There's all the old wise guys that go flying faster. Does that clear that up? 1 o'clock, need to be out of there.
Is there a cut-off time after lunch?
There's
Like to get back to
3 dams? No.
And 5 dams?
5 dams, there's one a long way out where it becomes a welfare issue before you get to Canning Dam, where we just turn you short if we have to. But yeah, you're slower than that 19 kilometres an hour to get there. Yeah. Obviously, it gets to a point where the end of the day, the cut-off is 5 o'clock. Everyone finished by about 20 past 4 before was the last one and the last time. But it becomes a bit of a duty of care if you've been on your bike for 11 hours. You probably need someone else to make some decisions for you, to be honest. I'm being frank, like that's where, you know, that's where triathlon is a bit easier because, you know, I'll just walk now. So, as long as I've got through the bike section. Whereas cycling, you've got to be able to get to the end. So, yeah, it's all managed for it, yes. So, yeah, the main one is that 1 o'clock though.
Can you get one of your riding buddies to pick up your gear, or do you have to pick it up yourself?
Very good point.
Yeah, like a son.
Like a son. Yes, I think you can collect from us because we're going to have.
You talking about the on registration?
Yeah.
Sorry. Oh,
The
yeah,
pickup
yeah.
on the
Yeah, you
Friday.
can.
Oh, great.
Yeah,
I can get his pack up.
yeah, because some people might not be able to make it. So.
Yeah.
What
Just
do
let
you
us
need
know
to make
beforehand.
that? Oh, okay.
Yeah.
You'll have there'll be an electronic tag created for your number one and
Yeah,
their
correct.
entry confirmation. So if they should be able to have that email and show that.
So when there's a group of us with the same numbers, I think there's 6 in our
Yes.
team.
Yes.
Do we all have to start together, ride together and finish together? Because we're all at different levels
No.
at the moment. So how does that
Your
work?
team time will be calculated just adding you guys up whenever you come in.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So if you just want to pair up, like it's great to ride with a buddy. And you'll find by the top of the first hill, you've probably found a buddy because there'll be someone at your level. So by all means, say hello and ride along with them. But if you're in a team situation, it's not a race. Okay, we need to make that really clear. This event is not a race. We time you for your own benefit and your own bragging rights against your mates, friends, relatives. And we also, primarily from my position as the event manager, we time you so we know where you are. Okay. Which is
We've
really
got 6
important.
of us, and we've got a little bit of variation as well.
Yep.
But so stopping at the top of the hill, waiting for the others.
Which I like. As long as you're not in the
Worry
race.
about.
No. Obviously, you just really need to be mindful. Everyone does that they're open roads. Okay. This is an extremely unique event, and the fact we get a permit from five local councils and main roads, and most importantly, Water Corp, is quite amazing. Water Corp are absolutely paranoid about anything going in their dams. Hence, we've moved the stops away from their dams now to help just make them a lot happier. But it takes 12 months collaboration to get all these people on board to let us do events. So we just need to be respectful, and it's not a race, so there's no real need. And I haven't seen any peloton bigger than 6 ever come in and finish together because it is extremely challenging. And that's the idea. It's a challenge. Just pace yourself. Just work your way through. You know, if you're doing the 3 dams in particular, you know at 6 kilometres to go, there's a very serious climb. But once you get to the top of that and you get to the T-junction, you're home. Okay? It's a great fun downhill to the finish. It's better to be frank because they whinged like hell the first year.
We saw some wild boars. Wild boars?
Boars?
Yeah. Pigs? Yeah.
Jeez.
Crossing the road. It's either that
Oh,
or my
but
friend
I'm-
was lacking. It's either that or my friend was lacking oxygen when he was on the road. She saw the boars. Okay. So what do we do in that instance?
Like a snake, just cook them up.
That would be our answer, yeah.
Look, I presume the volume, unless you're at the front, and even then, so if you're leading up Serpentine, you can rest assured there's already been 3 of our event vehicles through there that morning. Okay, so the worst fun job is the car that drives out the driveway and circulates at 3:30. Okay, and they check every sign that we put in place the day before. So lots of things in place. Obviously, it's like a kangaroo or whatever. Don't look at them. Look where they ride to where they've been. Okay, just like we do in a car. The boars. Okay. Snakes are gone. Good for that. Anything else?
Will you guys check the routes prior to us getting on?
Yes, yeah, several times.
Yeah.
We've probably been 4 times in the last 2 months.
So you clear all the gum nuts away?
Oh, every single one.
Every one.
No, we'll do like if something was really bad. So as I said, we have 3 crews out on the Saturday who sign the course and they take brooms, and then we have 3 sweep vehicles first thing in the morning. We do our best to make it as good as possible for you guys. That's why we're here. Any other questions? Okay, make sure you tell someone where you're going. If you're an individual, they know where you are, approximately what time you should be home, all that sort of stuff. Oh, one thing that has been a problem, if you withdraw, you have to let us know. All you need to do is text the number on your wristband. Tell us your number and where you withdrew and that you're okay. I'll finish with a very quick story about that. We used to finish at Curtin Uni. Anyone done it at Curtin Uni? You rode from Serpentine Dam across to the freeway, way south of Baldivis, and then all the way up the freeway bike path until you got the city nearly and across to Curtin Uni. We couldn't find 2 guys. 2 guys missing at the end, and me and a few others in the dark on the mountain bike, opposite direction on the bike path, searching everywhere. Well, these 2 guys had got to the train, hadn't they? And they got train home, on the beers at home, the tour, watching TV. So.
To be fair, it's not a bad idea.
Hence we changed the course. Honestly, I was a big push for that because I went, I'm not doing that again. And these guys, oh, we're really sorry. Yeah, I'm sorry too, I assure you. So please, if something happens and you have to withdraw, let us know. All good? All happy? No questions from earlier? Let's put our hands together for our presenters earlier. Reach out. We're all cycling enthusiasts. Okay, this event is all about you guys. We all need to work collaboratively together. It'll make it successful. One issue that I hate to finish on, but I'm going to, is volunteers. We're still quite short on volunteers. Okay, just to put it in perspective, we need 120 marshals to cover this event because we don't make anyone stand there for longer than 4 hours. So we need to actually have rosters on some points. We're at about 55. So we're well short on that, and we still need a few more in stuff like the bag packing and your rego on the Friday, Saturday. Okay. The messages will get a little bit more pushy with that because quite simply, once we get really close, we need you to bring a friend or ask a volunteer, ask a partner or whatever. Those doing the 5 dams, someone could easily drop you at the start, go out and do one of our corners and get the best spectating point on course, and then come back and be there well before you finish. Some of the options, but we're definitely struggling, I think, because it's been a lot of volunteering, a lot of helping around some of the incidents we've had, bushfires, etc. We're way behind on marshals at the moment. Okay. Thank you all. Good luck.
Thank you.
Enjoy.